I think the recent EBT crisis that we've seen is completely fabricated and staged, and for a reason. They're trying to provoke a certain response. At least, this is how it appears. When we look at the timing, we could see it occurring on the second week of the so-called government shutdown, and a quote from V for Vendetta is echoing in my mind. They need to know why they need us. It's like we're seeing a scene from V for Vendetta play out in the real world. On Saturday, we saw a nationwide glitch with the federal, not state, but federal food assistance program. And on Sunday, we saw shoppers at a Louisiana Walmart, mostly a minority community. All of a sudden, they've got no limit on their food stamp card. So everybody fills up their cards. There's pictures of this all over the web. There's also a YouTube video of what it looked like inside. All these cards, full. Well, as soon as a large group of these shoppers with an unlimited spending amount on their food stamp card reached the front of the line or got done shopping, I'm not sure how long this was going on and why it was just one Walmart in one area. I think this is significant. As soon as they get to the front of the line and they get ready to buy their stuff, they get ready to get out of there, and then their EBT cards return to normal, where they should have been the entire time. And then they just abandon their carts, which has resulted in what? Oh, maybe a lot of food being wasted, because you're going to need a lot of employees to put the perishables back, the meat, the dairy. For any of you that have worked at a grocery store, you have certain things that are going to go bad real quick. The frozen items, the ice cream. I worked at a grocery store for about 3 or 4 years. I see this as a staged event on a number of fronts, and they want to bring about a number of desired outcomes. But overall, there is this theme of provoking people. You're going to shut down the memorials, piss off the vets, all these different ways they can destroy morale. But on the other hand, I talked about this mostly minority community being affected by this, right? Well, then the media can put that on TV, and people are seeing these images. And what a lot of people are thinking is the majority of the people on food stamps are Obama supporters, or people that want a free handout from the government. The food stamp program has been around for longer than Obama. And there are more people that are suffering. Those numbers are in than ever before, than any other time that we've seen. In terms of the job rates, we've seen tough times in our nation's history, in the 70s and 80s and before my time. But this is a very difficult time for a lot of people, especially families. And I don't think it's accurate to assume that everyone that's in need right now, or everyone that has kids to feed, is a Obama supporter. And then there are those that are Obama supporters that really don't know any better. It's really sad. It's quite sad. We live in this world of information and knowledge, and there's still so many people that have no clue about this guy's background. So this is what I would call a shock test. They're shock testing. Can we cause a panic? And can we flip the computers around, switch things around just for a few hours to where we can cause a looter situation, to where we can create and fabricate a situation where we encourage people to take beyond that which is given to them and steal out of some sort of instinct to survive? Because after all, how many of those people do you think that were taking beyond their means have heard about the government shutdown or heard about the EBT failure the day before on Saturday? Of course, they don't have a decent excuse as to why that happened. All they say is, we had a glitch. We were updating the software. Oh, you're updating the software. Interesting time, wouldn't you say, to update the software? Now, what we've seen is manipulation on the government's part to shut down the Amber Alert aspect of the WhiteHouse.gov website, or one of the government pages that they run, which is just macabre in and of itself. For so many profound reasons, that is macabre to toy with people like that. Because the site was still functioning. They just made it no longer available for the public to interface with it, to use it. And as the whole nation has seen from the last several weeks, yeah, they've shut down the national parks. and they haven't allowed people to go in, but they have hired police to keep people out, and that's going to cost money. That costs money. So clearly you're being provoked. They want you to respond a certain way. I expect this to continue. I've spoken about this earlier in the year and last year in relation to the gun issue. They're trying to provoke you. They also want to see what you're going to say in response on your Facebook page. They're monitoring you. They know where you're located. They've got your IP. So consider these things. Consider how they want you to react to them, the way that they want you to react, and consider how they want people to turn against other people, especially people of color, and tell you those people that are in need, that are a weight on the system, it's their fault. You know, I suspect there's going to be another right-wing Nazi fascist rise within this country. We've already seen it with the Golden Dawn in Greece. And traditionally, with manufactured stage economic collapses, we've seen these rises of fascist groups, fascist thought. We certainly saw it in Nazi Germany. But it's very common for group to get played off against group in these manufactured economic depressions and declines. We've seen this in the past, and we're seeing it now. So certainly be aware of the ploy to get you into a box, a limited perception and mentality to where you think that it's one group of people, maybe from a certain country, maybe people of a certain color, maybe people that voted a certain way, that it's their fault for how things are the way that they are. And you can take this one step further. I experienced this last week. Because of my long hair and my rundown car, a person that lives close to where I am now told me that he assumed that I voted for Barack Obama based on the length of my hair and that my car's run down. To him, I look like a dirty hippie. To a lot of people these days, I look like a dirty hippie because my hair is not as short as it used to be. That's not my problem, that's their problem. But they suffer from such delusions of perception. That was a wake-up call to me. That means because of the way I look to some people, I'm considered to be in the enemy camp. Not from where my father's from in this case, but because I look like a hippie to some people. They assume that I am somehow for this socialization that's going on. So I just want to make sure that you're aware of that and that you are not falling into a trap. And so with that, we're going to give you future updates throughout this week. I just felt compelled to let you know that I think this whole thing is fabricated to further the divide and conquer program that America is already experiencing. Thank you for watching, and please sign up to the newsletter at alexansary.tv.